I never thought the day would come when my own daughter would look at me like I was nothing. My name is Robert. I'm 58 years old, and for most of my life, I had only one goal: to give my daughter the life I never had. Her name is Emily. Emily was only 3 years old when her mother left us. One morning, she packed her bags, said she couldn't live like this anymore, and walked out. No goodbye hug, no tears, just silence. I still remember Emily standing at the door holding her little teddy bear and asking me, "Daddy, when is Mommy coming back?" I didn't know what to say, so I just hugged her and said, "Don't worry, sweetheart, Daddy is here." From that day on, I became everything for her: father, mother, friend, protector. The hard years. Raising a child alone in America is not easy, especially when you don't have a college degree. I worked 2 jobs most of the time. In the morning, I drove a delivery truck. At night, I worked at a small grocery store stocking shelves. Some nights I was so tired I fell asleep sitting on the couch while Emily watched cartoons beside me. But every time I felt like giving up, I would look at her sleeping face and remind myself why I was doing this. I never let her feel like she was missing anything. When she wanted a birthday party, I made it happen. When she needed school supplies, I worked extra shifts. When she cried because other kids had better clothes, I saved money for months just to buy her something nice. There were days when I ate instant noodles so she could have proper food. But I never complained, not once. Because to me, she wasn't just my daughter. She was my whole world.
Watching her grow. Emily grew up fast. She was smart, confident, and beautiful. Teachers always said she would go far in life. I still remember the day she graduated high school. She walked across the stage smiling proudly, and when she saw me in the crowd, she waved with tears in her eyes. After the ceremony, she hugged me tightly and said, "Dad, I promise I'll make you proud one day." That sentence stayed in my heart for years. I worked even harder so she could go to college. I didn't have enough savings, so I took a loan. I knew it would take me years to pay it back, but I didn't care. She got into a good college in another state. The day I dropped her off at the dorm, the house suddenly felt empty for the first time in 18 years. But I was happy because my daughter was finally building the life I dreamed for her. The change. At first, she used to call me every day, then every few days, then once a week, then only when she needed money. I tried not to think too much about it. I told myself she was busy. After college, she got a good job in a big company. She moved into a nice apartment. Her life was changing, and slowly I realized I was no longer a part of it. When I visited her for the first time after she started working, I noticed something strange. She seemed uncomfortable around me. Maybe it was my old clothes. Maybe it was my tired face. Maybe she was embarrassed. But I ignored it because I loved her too much to think badly about her. The day everything changed. Last year, I lost my job. The company I worked for closed down suddenly. At my age, finding another job wasn't easy. I applied everywhere. Delivery companies, stores, warehouses. Nobody wanted to hire a 58-year-old man. Within a few months, my savings were gone. Bills started piling up. I tried to stay strong, but inside I was breaking. Finally, I decided to call Emily. I didn't want to, but I had no choice. When she picked up the phone, I tried to sound normal, but my voice was shaking. "Emily, I lost my job. Things are a little difficult right now. Can I stay with you for a while until I find something?" There was silence on the phone. Then she said something I never thought I would hear from her. "Dad, I don't think that's a good idea. I have my own life now. I can't take responsibility for you." I felt like someone punched me in the chest. "I'm not asking you to take responsibility. I said softly. I just need a little time. She sighed, annoyed. Dad, you should have planned your life better. I can't help you right now. And then she hung up. The pain. That night was the worst night of my life. I kept staring at the phone, hoping she would call back and say it was a mistake, but she never did. I wasn't angry. I was heartbroken because the girl I raised with love had become someone I didn't recognize anymore. A few weeks later, I couldn't afford the rent anymore. I had to leave the house where Emily grew up, the same house where I spent 20 years of my life raising her alone. I packed everything into 2 bags and walked out. I had nowhere to go. The unexpected help. One cold evening, I was sitting on a bench near a small coffee shop. I didn't even have enough money to buy food. That's when a young man came out of the shop and looked at me carefully. "Sir, are you okay?" he asked. I smiled and said, "Yes, I'm fine." But he didn't believe me. He came back with a cup of coffee and a sandwich and handed it to me. "I know what it feels like," he said quietly. "Someone helped me once when I needed it." His name was Daniel. He was 26 years old. He owned a small online business. After talking for a while, he asked me something unexpected. "Sir, would you like to work with me? I need someone responsible, not someone young, someone trustworthy." I couldn't believe it. For the first time in months, I felt hope again. A new beginning. Daniel gave me a small job helping him manage deliveries and customers. At first, it was difficult. I wasn't used to computers or online work, but he was patient. He taught me everything step by step. Within a few months, I was working full-time again. I rented a small room. It wasn't much, but it was mine. Slowly, my life started changing. Daniel's business grew bigger, and one day he surprised me again. "Sir, I want you to become my partner. I trust you more than anyone." I couldn't speak. I just looked at him with tears in my eyes. The day Emily came back. Almost a year passed. On one afternoon, my phone rang. It was Emily. For a moment, I didn't know whether to answer or not, but I did. Her voice sounded different, soft, nervous. "Dad, can we talk?" She came to see me the next day. When she saw my small office and the work I was doing, she looked shocked. "I didn't know you were doing all this," she said quietly. Then she started crying. "I'm sorry, Dad. I was selfish. I forgot everything you did for me. I thought success meant leaving the past behind, but I was wrong." I didn't say anything for a few seconds. Then I simply said, "You hurt me more than you can imagine, but you're still my daughter." She hugged me tightly, crying like a little girl again, just like she was 3 years old. The ending. Today, my life is completely different. I'm not rich, I'm not famous, but I'm happy because I learned something important. Sometimes the people you sacrifice everything for may forget your value, but life always gives you another chance if you don't give up. And as for Emily, she calls me every day now, not because she needs money, not because she needs help, but because she finally understands what love really means.